You. Do you know where you are? Well, you've done it now. You're listening to KCAA Loma Linda, your CNBC news station. So expect the unexpected.
The revolution starts now. You're about to enter the Real Estate Expert Online Radio Show. The Jake and Cliff Show is on. Showing you how real estate investing can make your dreams, your future, your financial freedom, your reality. And now, your hosts, Jake and Cliff.
That's right, it's Jake, and Cliff is over here also. And this is the Real Estate Expert Online Radio Show with Jake and Cliff on KCAA 1050 AM 102.3 FM. And we are a movement, and we have a special situation, which, as often listeners know, we're here on location in Bakersfield, California, and it's a balmy 102 degrees. Isn't that what the temperature is outside?
Scary.
Kevin? It's gonna get there. It's just wonderful up here, and you guys have got to come because you have not experienced life until you've experienced at 102. Actually, the FM station is 102.5.
That's right. So we're almost at the same temperature
right, exactly,
as the station ID.
Well, and all kidding aside, we do kid, and that's part of the entertainment of the show. But what we are is and accordingly, I might say, we have an audience. Say hi, audience. Yay. There you go. See, they're there, and they're watching the show. But we're kind of a different thing. As we try to explain, we're kind of a movement. Mm-hmm. There are some movements.
You always scare me when you say that.
There's political movements.
Political. That's very good. Let's keep it at that.
There's political movements. There's social movements. There's things like that.
Right.
This is kind of
a financial movement.
I don't know. I'm not sure I want to say what kind of a movement.
No, that's where I don't want to go.
But we're a movement. We're going to explain to you what that is. But first of all, I want to let you know that for anyone who wants to call in, the number is the on-air number is 888-909-1050. And for those of you who are listening at a different day or time, because we are replayed on Sundays, is 800-396-1501. And I stuttered on that for a minute. But let's get to what we're talking about today.
Well, backing up a little bit, we're on YouTube.
We're on Spreaker.
You can just search Cliff Gager Real Estate on YouTube.
We're on Tiki Live.
And
we're live.
Yeah.
We're on iHeartRadio.
You can listen to the podcast because we record each show, and you can listen to it.
Right, and so
you can listen to the live recording.
And it's like
live recording.
Did anybody remember the old movie with George Clooney and Turturro and some other guys called "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou"?
Oh my God!
Remember the Papio Daniels character when they had gone in and they had sung that song, and they were coming out because they got their $10. And the Papio Daniels was the governor of the state, and he was going in there.
You told this story last week.
I told the story, but I didn't tell it to them because they didn't listen, so I want them to get the benefit. And the son, who was kind of not really great, said to the guys coming out, "Don't you want to talk to these people, shake their hands, ask them to buy your farina, and elect you governor of Louisiana?" And he got mad, and this is all in the movie. He took his hat and he slapped him, and he said, "Don't you tell me how to politic." And he said, "Besides, we ain't one at a time in here. We's mass communicating." So that's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing. So all of that, just to say we're mass communicating.
Well, you've got to allow, like the owner, God bless, Fred Lundgren always says.
Yes.
You talk to Jake and you ask him what time it is, and he tells you how to build a watch.
How to build a watch. And Fred is a great guy, man.
Fred is
a super guy.
Fred is a great guy. So anyway, we are a movement. The kind of movement we are is that we believe in several things. First of all, we believe in the personal financial revolution. And those of you who are listening to us, you've heard us talk about this before. But what is the personal financial revolution, Cliff?
It's where we teach you how to actually overcome the barriers that have been set probably from your education in life in general, and show you how to overcome those and create a financial future that is full of abundance, full of wealth, full of time. You know, the best thing that I think that I've achieved out of all of this is spare time to do things that you want to do, whether you want to go out and buy more real estate, if you want to go out and travel, if you want to go out and spend time with your family, spend time with your horses, spend time complaining about the horses, you know, because all the stuff that comes with the horses, you know, just the time that you gain from being able to financially support yourself and the things that you want to do is what we're after. That's the main goal of what we're trying to deliver to you in your financial revolution. What do you think the financial revolution is?
Cliff, that's not what it is.
It sure is. It's all about time.
That is what it is. The question that I would put out to people is, what would it be like if you had an extra $500 in your pocket each month? What would that be like? What could you do with that?
It doesn't sound like much.
Doesn't sound like much.
Right.
But I mean, it's gas in the car. It's maybe a date with your partner.
And today it's
could be
car payment, $500.
Be going to a nice golf course instead of the miniature golf one that you always go to. I mean, it could be many things. I mean, you know, one man's treasure is another man's garbage or refuse, and like they say. And but this is what real estate can do for you. Why can it do it for you? Well, because of the industrial education model that we're in, because of the industrial...
We should talk about that today.
Let's talk about that today. We can talk about that. The post-industrial employment situation we're in, where, I mean, think about it, guys. When you go to school, you're taught from a very early age. You go to kindergarten, you go to kindergarten a half a day, and then when you get in the first grade, you know, they really lay it on you.
The structure.
And the structure, all the structure.
Yeah.
And it complete with a bell.
Yes.
And the bell rings, and you go from place to place. I want to make sure I don't step on the brake, because Joe's there.
Yeah.
Joe will notify us. And then you get up, and you get very used to getting up and going to the next place.
And Joe's our engineer.
And Joe's our engineer.
Yeah. So they ring the bell, you show up at school.
Joe types in 2 minutes, and I know that
we follow instructions. We're taught that in school. We're taught they ring the bell, and you better be in your seat before the bell rings.
That's right.
But they actually ring a bell before they ring the bell.
That's right.
So that you know you got like 5 minutes to get to your seat.
So it's very segmented. When you think about it, it's by the time that you're out of high school, it's like rats in a maze. And it's like they let you loose on the world, and you literally don't know how to act, but that's lucky, because they've got a job for you.
Yes.
And when the job comes, there are other rules that you take a time card, you punch it in, and a bell rings.
Yeah.
Or the machine goes.
And then you get told to go to lunch.
And you get told to go to lunch.
They ring a bell when you're supposed to come back.
Exactly. And you take your break. And
that's what they teach you in school.
Some of these places, when it's time to come back for your break, you need a little time to wash your hands. So there's a little bell that says, break is over in 5 minutes, go wash your hands.
Right.
And it gets very segmented, and you get, and you all have to answer this for yourself, but in this system, which is so segmented,
and they teach you very little.
Like a robot.
They really do teach you very little, just enough to make you
they just teach
somewhat
you
educated
to do your job, even in the case of people in the professions like attorneys and things like that.
But why? Because when this system was created was in the 1800s, when most people were going to go work either in the factory or in the farm. And usually the kids that worked on the farm didn't go to school.
Well, and there's arguments to be made about that, and there's the whole idea of the classical education, the liberal arts education, which was for people who were the merchant class in the pre-industrial and industrial days. They came up by the bootstraps. They pulled up by the bootstraps. They weren't very educated.
Right.
They saw all around them educated people. They wanted this for their sons and their daughters. And so the idea of the liberal arts education, which has been around since ancient Greece, it's nothing new.
Right.
The liberal arts education came to the fore in Western society, but the Western, slowly over time, liberal arts education has been replaced by a kind of a more industrial type education.
Right.
For workers to do segmented jobs,
because there's more workers than managers.
One of our people in the audience here is a partner works for a law firm, and she does employment law, and she probably doesn't know how to do anything else, because that's the way it was with me. I knew how to do one thing, and I didn't know how to do anything else.
Because they
When I stopped
segment
working
things.
for the law firm, I learned how to do everything. But I would rather be that way. I would rather have been that way in my practice, and that's what I wound up doing. Well, this is the kind of thing, and you only earn a certain amount of money doing that job. The office politics are problematic.
But why did they do that? We know that. But why did they just give you a little piece enough to do your job, right? Isn't that what it is?
Yeah.
Just enough to do your job. And then limit you at your job so that all you do is that one thing. It's like an assembly line. You learn how to put the lug nuts on the car.
Right.
That's all you do for 25 years.
Right.
Put lug nuts on the car. That's
and then
it.
the robot comes and takes
And then it takes your job, right? But the thing is they don't need you to know anything else. You are a wheel in the cog of the industry, or the industrial revolution that we had in the 18 and 1900s, to where
well, the Industrial Revolution was before that.
Right, but our Industrial Revolution of the United States, where people were trained to go work in a factory.
People work in factories.
And you go work in the factory, and you come home, and then you go work in the factory, and then you come home, and nobody was entrepreneurial except for the big business smart guys. And they were always people that were like, man, that got smart, you know?
Well, and now Joe's coming in with 2 minutes to the break. You know, I'm from New York City, Westchester County, actually, but I was in New York City all the time. And this kind of situation, which is a consequence of the Roosevelt's New Deal that we're talking about, created a situation where you could actually be a sanitation worker.
Yep.
You could be a sanitation worker for 25 years. You could retire. You could get a pension. It was good.
Yep.
I used to go to places in New York where there were waiters who were 65 years old.
Right.
And they could do that. Why? Because it was all unionized. And they could be a waiter for their entire life and do that. Without getting into the pros and cons of that, you can't do that anymore.
Can't build
that becomes
wealth.
more problematic.
Yeah.
And so we're in the situation where you find that unless you do something to break out, you have to build wealth somehow. You have to build wealth. You may be satisfied just being a waitress in a right-to-work state or in a state where union benefits are degraded. Some people, that works for them. We're now at 30 seconds. We'll talk about this more when we get back. But you may be satisfied with that, but if you're not, that's where you come and talk to us.
Right.
That's where the financial revolution takes place.
And that's why most people now, in less than 10 seconds.
Right. And we'll be back. It's KCAA, 1050 on the AM dial, 102.3 FM. It's Jake and Cliff, and we will be back right after these messages.
You're listening to the Real Estate Expert Online Radio Show. To start your own personal financial revolution, call 1-800-396-1501 or visit realestateexpertonline.com. Jake and Cliff will be right back.
Hey, Crystal, what you up to?
Oh, Fred dragged me to one of those dumb real estate seminars.
Oh, did you learn the secret to flipping houses?
No, their secret was a $40,000 sales pitch.
You know, John and I flipped 2 houses this year.
Really? Wish we did that. Did you fall for one of those overpriced programs?
No way. We use Cliff Gager's online training at realestateexpertonline.com.
Realestateexpertonline.com? Sounds expensive. Those seminar people were so pushy. Fred almost blew our entire life savings.
No, the price was so low we were skeptical at first, but it's exactly what we needed.
What's that website again?
realestateexpertonline.com. Cliff's strategies are the real deal.
realestateexpertonline.com. Oh, here it is. Okay, I signed up for his webinar. I'm super excited.
I have a venti mocha for Crystal.
Oh, that's me. Thanks, Linda. realestateexpertonline.com will finally make our dreams come true.
Yep, realestateexpertonline.com worked for us.
Ever dream about flipping houses like on TV? Want more money in your bank account to do the things you want to do? If so, get ready to begin your personal financial revolution with Cliff Gager's house flipping training. Cliff's 25 years of experience will help you finally understand how to get great deals and create profits quickly while achieving your dream of financial freedom. This training gets straight to the good stuff so you can start immediately. Cliff was the mentor's mentor for many of the TV and seminar so-called gurus. He was the man behind the curtain, but now you can eliminate those overpriced gurus and get Cliff's best knowledge direct. If you really want to make money flipping houses, you need realestateexpertonline.com. Your personal financial revolution starts now. Go to realestateexpertonline.com. That's realestateexpertonline.com. realestateexpertonline.com.
Hey Fred, Linda told me you went to one of those real estate seminars.
Yeah, what a downer. It was nothing but a 3-day sales pitch to sell more overpriced training. Plus, the 3-day training they did was so vague. It was a waste of time.
Linda and I almost did that too, but we got lucky and found Cliff Gager first. Did you and Crystal check out Cliff's realestateexpertonline.com website?
Yeah, we did. Cliff really put together a complete program. realestateexpertonline.com gave us all the missing pieces we've been searching for.
Yeah, the gurus only want to sell you expensive coaching programs. Crazy.
I know, right? We almost handed over $40,000 to those so-called real estate gurus.
Not only did realestateexpertonline.com save Linda and I $40,000, it also helped us start flipping houses and making profits quickly.
Hi, I'm Cliff Gager, and you can start your own personal financial revolution today with realestateexpertonline.com. That's realestateexpertonline.com.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Expert Online Radio Show with Jake and Cliff. Your personal financial revolution for financial independence continues.
That's right. This is the Real Estate Expert Online Radio Show with Jake and Cliff. I'm Jake, and he's Cliff. Sometimes I'm Cliff too, but that's only because I'm schizophrenic.
Well, that's what they say. The people in your head.
And you are. What are you, OCD or ACDC?
No, not ACDC. OCD,
What's your designation?
ADHD.
Everybody's got a designation these days.
Yeah. There was actually a new, I can't even talk about it, but I don't watch TV. And when we travel.
Is it kind of a wink, wink, say no more? I can't talk about it.
It was a commercial on the TV today about a problem that they have a new pill for, and I just couldn't believe that they did that. I'll off air we'll talk about it. Even though it was broadcast on TV, I feel like I can't even talk about it on the radio.
But the thing that you always say
there's always a problem.
Is that you need everything to be perfect, but only for 10 seconds.
That's it.
What is that? What do you call that?
I'm OCD. Everything has to be perfect.
OCD.
Yep. And I'm ADHD. So it doesn't have to be perfect for very long.
You combine the two. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as my girlfriend says, many of these things cluster. It means you just don't have one. You're just not OCD. I can't remember.
AC/DC is a rock band. But anyways, we were talking about the industrial mindset of the educational system is training you to be like Pavlov's dog. You know, literally they ring the bell, you get the prize. You ring the bell, they get the prize. And when people want to go out and like become a real estate investor, there's no school for that. There's training available out there, but you know, it's hit or miss to what's good or what's not good. And hopefully you get the good stuff.
Well, and it sounds like you're segueing into the part of the message that we call fake training.
Well, it is fake training. There's a lot of fake training out there, and what you have to be careful of is you don't know what's real or what's fake. And like today, we were talking about how there's some professionals in a specific industry that really are not educated to provide the service that they're representing that they give. And boy, I just legally skated around naming that absolutely pretty good. I've been hanging around with you too long.
Yeah.
But the point is when you're out there and you become an entrepreneurial type person, it breaks you outside of that bell ringing mentality, the industrial mentality.
It's interesting that you should say that, because you have, and we see it in the people who come to the
events.
Thank you. To the events, they still have the residue of these behaviors where they're obeying authority, and we have people come in all the time. You teach a certain way of submitting an offer.
Yes.
And one of the things that we're confronted with all the time is students coming back to us and saying, my realtor said,
you can't do that.
You can't do that.
Right.
And
that's
of course, if
the
it was
industrial
you or me,
mentality.
If it was you or me, it would be like, who died and made you the god of offers?
Exactly. That's a great analogy.
What is that? But most people,
it's outside the box.
It's outside the box, and it's all a part of this whole idea of the financial revolution. You look around you, you see other people doing it. You think, can I do it? They did it. It must be able to be done.
Right.
It was like Eddie Izzard said to his parents when they said, oh, you can't do that. He said, well, someone's playing these big halls.
Yep.
Someone's, being on TV, being a comedian.
Yep.
I think I'm going to try for that. Sorry, Mom and Dad. Sorry, I'm going to do that.
Yep.
And it's just like that. But when you get one of the big problems is fake training is a problem, but is the authority figures who stand in your way. They literally stand in your way, and they say, you can't do that.
Yeah, next.
Exactly. And
just get somebody that will, because
we have students in the room all the time, and one of the ideas is that if your training is not adequate or you didn't receive all of the training, like if the person that trained you or if the program that trained you didn't tell you what to do or what to say or what it meant, when a realtor or an attorney or an appraiser or an accountant or a tax preparer or what have you said, you can't do that, that's very frightening. Because what do all those people have? They have degrees.
Wait. They have an industrial education.
Well,
to be taught a segment of what they can do.
This is a breakout thing. This is people trying to break out.
Yeah.
This is people like you and me, and I was the same way. I've been in real estate education since 1981. And trying to break out of this. And all of the time we have all of these things surrounding us, and it's the people with degrees, certifications, licenses
that tell you you
can't do it.
Right.
This is very intimidating, is it not?
Well, the student goes out there and they learn something, and then
it's a combined thing and an authority thing from their industrial upbringing.
Right. So
their teacher tells them they can't do it. The teacher tells them what they can do.
Right.
And there's all sorts of people I was going to enumerate, but it's not necessary. There's all sorts of people you go through life in the society that we live in that tell you what you can and can't do.
Right.
And when you kind of get conditioned.
Right. It's because that's the way you're trained.
Right.
That's the way you're trained to go out there and do that one little segment. You put the lug nuts on. You're an attorney and you do corporate law. You're an attorney and you do personal injury law. If you go to a personal injury law attorney and ask them about a divorce, they don't know anything about it. They don't know anything about it.
And they're arguably little better in assisting you and guiding you than the man on the street would be.
Just a little bit better than Google.
Just maybe a little bit better.
I mean, with Google today, I can build a thermonuclear weapon on Google now.
Right.
Not that I'm not building one, just to be clear here.
Thanks for all of these asides, these.
But the point is people are compartmentalized. If you go talking about thermonuclear, if you go back to the Manhattan Project, every person in that program only knew the one little tiny thing about what they were doing, because they didn't want them to know the whole project, because they didn't want infiltration and spies and all that. But it compartmentalized it to where the guy that built the trigger had no clue why he was building it, or what it was for, or what it was supposed to do beyond its use of its own. So when you learn that type of education, which is being taught today, and you go out there and you try to break out of that, which is what we teach you to do, to become entrepreneurial, to become a real estate investor, you become smart as to how things are being done, but you also become aware that everybody else is telling you you can't do that because they're all in the box.
But it's a mindset, and it's a mindset that you have to break out of. And honestly, I don't think this is addressed enough.
It's not.
Because what is the success rate of the people who take these programs? It's not very high.
It's very low. In fact, it's in the single digits of people that go to real estate seminars actually put a deal together. And this is from actual corporate statistics from the many corporations that I worked with. About 6 to 8% will put a deal together within the first year. Out of that 6 to 8%, 1 or 2 will actually put together multiple deals. And if you, it's I use the analogy of you walk into the casino and on the walls they show you all these people that won jackpots. This guy won $1 million. This guy won $100,000. This woman won this much money, and they don't put. All those casinos in Vegas were built off of winners, just like you and me.
That's right.
How do you build a $1 billion casino if you're giving away all the money? The point is they don't give away all the money, and I think the slot machines pay 96%.
Well, and that has something to do with something called the law of large numbers.
Yes.
People don't understand the law of large numbers.
But when you go out and you start investing in real estate,
economies of scale like that,
you get a lot of rejection. You get a lot of people telling you can't do this. You get a lot of people telling you, Cliff, you dropped out of high school. How can you be a real estate investor? You must be doing something illegal. Because that's what my family said when I was making millions of dollars buying, fixing, and selling houses on a 9th grade education. It's because I got out of that industrial education and I got into an entrepreneurial mindset. And once you change your mind and you realize that you can do whatever you want to do as long as it's legal, you can do whatever you want to do. I just had a discussion with somebody.
But you can't
if you
don't have the proper training.
You can't.
You don't have, because we have people here, and you do coaching, and I do coaching also. But we have people who you tell them to go do something, and they go out and they do it, and then they have to come back the next week or to the next session, and they have to call you up and say, they told me I couldn't do that.
Right, and then I give them instructions on how to overcome that.
If you have a program that doesn't teach you how to do that,
you get stuck and you quit.
You get stuck and you quit.
Yep.
Which is one of the reasons why it's so important to have a coach. It's so important to have someone that you can call up. And these programs, do they allow you to do that? Are you able to call?
If you spend the big bucks.
If you spend the big bucks.
Yeah. And that's what we're here trying to do. We're here in Bakersfield this weekend. It's a free event.
Right.
And if you're not here, it's foolish that you're not here. Because the education that I give, they charge $30,000 and $40,000 for this in the industry, and it's free, and you should be here.
Well, and one of the things too, and it is foolish from the standpoint that you're missing out. Why are you missing out? Because this is out here. The personal financial revolution is out there. It's out there for each and every one of you within the sound of my voice. And you can definitely do it. You have to have the proper training to do it, and you have to have someone that you could rely on to do it.
Yeah.
We're at 30 seconds. Yeah. And it's like the old saying about people like Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods didn't become Tiger Woods. He had to have a coach to help him do it.
Everybody has a coach.
He may have to have natural
Michael
skills.
Jordan has a coach.
Michael Jordan has a coach. They all have a coach. So anyway, that's basically
LeBron has a coach.
We're coming down to the next break at the half of the hour or so. This is the Jake and Cliff Show, Real Estate Expert Online. And we're on KCAA, 1050 AM. We'll be right back in a minute.
You're listening to the Real Estate Expert Online Radio Show. To start your own personal financial revolution, call 1-800-396-1501 or visit realestateexpertonline.com. Jake and Cliff will be right back.
Hey, Crystal, what you up to?
Oh, Fred dragged me to one of those dumb real estate seminars.
Oh, did you learn the secret to flipping houses?
No, their secret was a $40,000 sales pitch.
John and I flipped 2 houses this year.
Really? Wish we did that. Did you fall for one of those overpriced programs?
No way. We use Cliff Gager's online training at realestateexpertonline.com.
Realestateexpertonline.com? Sounds expensive. Those seminar people were so pushy. Fred almost blew our entire life savings.
No. The price was so low, we were skeptical at first, but it's exactly what we needed.
What's that website again?
RealestateExpertOnline.com. Cliff strategies are the real deal.
RealestateExpertOnline.com. Oh, here it is. Okay, I signed up for his webinar. I'm super excited.
I have a venti mocha for Crystal.
Oh, that's me. Thanks, Linda. RealestateExpertOnline.com will finally make our dreams come true.
Yep, RealestateExpertOnline.com worked for us.
Ever dream about flipping houses like on TV? Want more money in your bank account to do the things you want to do? If so, get ready to begin your personal financial revolution with Cliff Gager's house flipping training. Cliff's 25 years of experience will help you finally understand how to get great deals and create profits quickly while achieving your dream of financial freedom. This training gets straight to the good stuff so you can start immediately. Cliff was the mentor's mentor for many of the TV and seminar so-called gurus. He was the man behind the curtain, but now you can eliminate those overpriced gurus and get Cliff's best knowledge direct. If you really want to make money flipping houses, you need RealestateExpertOnline.com. Your personal financial revolution starts now. Go to RealestateExpertOnline.com. That's RealestateExpertOnline.com. RealestateExpertOnline.com.
Hey, Fred, Linda told me you went to one of those real estate seminars. Yeah, what a downer. It was nothing but a 3-day sales pitch to sell more overpriced training. Plus, the 3-day training they did was so vague. It was a waste of time. Linda and I almost did that too, but we got lucky and found Cliff Gager first. Did you and Crystal check out Cliff's RealestateExpertOnline.com website?
Yeah, we did. Cliff really put together a complete program. RealestateExpertOnline.com gave us all the missing pieces we've been searching for.
Yeah, the gurus only want to sell you expensive coaching programs. Crazy.
I know, right? We almost handed over $40,000 to those so-called real estate gurus.
Not only did RealestateExpertOnline.com save Linda and I $40,000, it also helped us start flipping houses and making profits quickly.
Hi, I'm Cliff Gager, and you can start your own personal financial revolution today with RealestateExpertOnline.com. That's RealestateExpertOnline.com.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Expert Online Radio Show with Jake and Cliff. Your personal financial revolution for financial independence continues.
Okay, and this is Jake, and Cliff is over here. Say hi, Cliff.
I get to talk sometimes.
See, this is what I mean. Unless I prompt you, you just sit there like
I will be just sitting here, and I'm sleeping.
I'm in a, Henry Thoreau said that most people live in a condition of quiet desperation. And that's what I am on the show every week.
Quiet desperation.
Because I look at Cliff, and Cliff is just sitting there like a buffalo log, and I think, it's all up to me. I've got to save this situation.
And it's hard to do a radio show because my mom taught me that the person that's important that you really should be listening to is the one that says nothing in the room. So it doesn't work on radio.
Well, we just want you to know this is KCAA 1050 AM, 102.3 FM, 106.5 FM, and the call-in for anybody who wants to call in. Although we are rolling pretty good.
Yeah.
We might steamroll right over callers.
I don't think we'll have callers because we're live.
888-909-1050 if anybody wants to call in. And our great engineer, Joe, will take the call and he'll put you on hold and probably forget about you because that's the way Joe is.
Yeah, he does do that every once in a while.
If it's not for me, I have to save the call for Joe. I have to save the show for Joe too because sometimes Joe forgets. I feel a deep responsibility, folks. Anyway, getting back to what we were talking about before.
So what the audience here that we have suggested that we talk about the difference, since we're talking about coaching and mentoring and all that. What the difference between a coach and a mentor is, because we brought up the fact that Tiger Woods has a coach.
Yes.
Michael Jordan has a coach. All your LeBron James, all of these, and it's funny. I always talk about basketball. It's my favorite sport, by the way. But even if you're a race car driver, you have people that teach you things. There's coaching in almost everything we do. We have business coaches. So, like if you're a trial attorney, you go to trial attorney coaching classes that teach you the ins and outs of the expertise of talking and talking and talking without ever letting anybody else get a word in edgewise. Oh, they can't see the look on the radio. I'm just teasing Jake today. So when you have to realize that, you hear these terms out there, and you'll hear the term of a mentor, and you'll hear the term of a coach. And I call myself a coach because I'm in this for the long haul. A lot of times in the seminar industry, a mentor will show up and give you training for a short amount of time. And you would think that it would be the other way around. You think that the coach would come in first and then the mentor would guide you through. And that's really not the business model that's out there today. The mentor comes and sits with you maybe at your house for a weekend, and then they're gone, And as I worked for many of the companies, one of the things that they wanted me to do, and you've probably heard this if you listen to the station, is they wanted me to get in and get out and then leave you alone so that they could have you call into the coaching line. And the coaching line...
And they weren't even actually allowed to contact you ever again.
Well, that's not what they're told when they're buying the program, but I'm told after the training to not answer the questions.
Don't take any of their calls.
Don't take the calls.
Refer them back to the company.
Yes.
Right.
And I have a hard problem with that because a lot of times the people, you build a relationship with somebody and they ask you questions and you give them the results or you give them the answers that gives them the results that they're looking for, they tend to continue to call you. And my nature is to help people when they ask me. And that's why I'm doing what I do today. And that's why I do these events on my own rather than working for the big institutional seminar companies. It's because I want to be there in the long term because I've done a lot of deals. I've done a lot of transactions. I've done transactions that other real estate agents have never done before, and therefore there's a lot of situations that come along that I understand and I can see the big picture as far as what to do next to get it to the stage of moving towards closing. Everything all depends on the project getting to closing. You have to go to closing. If you go to closing and it doesn't close, then you don't make a deal. You don't make money. Everybody goes home. Everybody's sad. So the final objective, or the only objective, is to get that deal to closing to where the funds are distributed. And knowing the value, knowing the repairs, knowing the costs, knowing the time frames, knowing the venues of where you get the money and what does that expense add to the project, these are all things that are fundamental to me. They're like when you get on a bicycle and you start riding a bike and you're moving your pedals up and down, and you're keeping your balance and you're doing all that. Those are the fundamentals of riding a bike, and those are the things that you don't even think about while you're doing it because they get you on the bike to your destination. And that's where I think the coaching comes in because when you're a coaching student of ours, you can pick up the phone and you can ask us a question and I give you the answer. And here's the thing, Jake, that a lot of people appreciate. They don't like it at first, but they appreciate it in the end because I don't tell you when you call in what you want to hear. I tell you the facts, I tell you the truth, and I tell you the outcome that you're heading to if I can see it's a good deal or a bad deal. And I'll tell you exactly because I have a vested interest in giving you the right answer. And when you have going on almost 30 years of experience now, it's fundamental. So the problem that you're dealing with that you think is the end of the world, I've dealt with it 100 times maybe, and it was just a speed bump in the process of putting the deal together. And like when you're in law, it's the same thing. There's things that, like if I got a speeding ticket and I go to Jake and I said, Jake, I'm going to fight this on my own because I'm really smart. I don't know the procedures of what the attorneys are talking to the judge. They're all attorneys, right? The prosecutor's usually an attorney.
Yeah. There are. Well, you get some judges that are called justices of the peace.
Yeah.
And they may not be attorneys.
But they know the procedural context.
Well, they'll be taught because they go to school.
Yeah.
They for 6 weeks they send him to school to learn how to be a judge.
But I could argue something that makes logical sense, but the procedure that they bring up in opposition to that, I might not understand that procedure,
and you know,
and they beat me on my lack of knowledge.
You know, and the person that you're talking about is me, because
Yeah.
I got a traffic ticket once before I ever got into law,
Yeah.
several years before, and I thought, well, you know, I'm going to go in. I'm a pretty smart guy, and I am.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty smart guy. I'm going to go in. I'll just go to the law library. I'll get 20 minutes to the law library, in and out. I'll have this thing figured out. And after 20 minutes in the law library, there was nothing that I was more sure of, but that I would never be able to figure out how to defend this ticket.
Yeah.
Because you begin to realize all the things that you don't know. And the questions that we get from people are indicative of that. I do a whole presentation that I'm going to be doing tomorrow, showing people how they don't understand some of the most commonly held concepts and what the dirty words are and how they run afoul of all those things. And the thing that just cracks me up is that these things are so easy for me.
For you.
But to you, it's a closed book, and you can't open it, and there's no way that you can open it unless you have someone help you.
But in court, you guys speak
like
Latin.
A coach.
Why do they speak Latin in court?
Well, they don't do that so much anymore.
But a
When
lot
I
of the
started,
proceedings,
they used to.
are done in a different language.
Do you want me to give you the legal answer, or do you want me to?
Well, I'm going to give you the layperson, and then you give me the legal. The layperson is I'm standing there in court, and they're talking about all of these Latin things, which are objections and quash and motions and this and that and the other thing, which are procedural things that I don't know. And because I don't know them, when an attorney makes a procedural suggestion to the court that I should be, you know, thrown out of the court, I don't even understand what they're saying. And it's by design. So a lot of the things in life were designed to be excluded by the way that the professionals are taught. So when you go into this and you get these answers and you get these situations to where you don't understand the procedures, that's how they beat you. So that's what we do is we teach you the procedures, and we teach you how to overcome their objections to our procedures.
And the stuff that blows my mind on this, and I could give the legal answer to why we
only got 30 seconds now,
and it's not necessary.
I did that by design.
But the thing that blows my mind about it is that we actually have a minute.
A minute.
But the thing that blows my mind about it is that the things that people come to me, the questions they ask me, they're simple.
They're simple.
They're so simple. It's like the stuff that they ask you, but I know that they don't know it. But to me, it's incredibly simple.
Right.
So and anyway, the reason why people do that, I don't know if I'm going to have the time, is because a lot of the American and British law comes from the Roman law.
Right.
And all of those things have been reduced to adages, and people have gotten used to quoting the Latin.
Yep.
Because the Latin expresses the legal principles so well. And if you're dealing with lawyers all the time, then you understand that. Like there's one that says, and they're really important, and they've been reduced to adage.
Yeah.
An adage. And so when you say this thing, like the safety of the republic is the first law, when you say that in Latin, everybody understands that. And this is KCAA, and we'll be back in a minute. This is the Jake and Cliff Show on KCAA 1050 AM. We'll be back in a minute to talk more about Latin and other stuff, other dead stuff.
You're listening to the Real Estate Expert Online Radio Show. To start your own personal financial revolution, call 1-800-396-1501 or visit realestateexpertonline.com. Jake and Cliff will be right back.
Hey, Crystal, what you up to?
Oh, Fred dragged me to one of those dumb real estate seminars.
Oh, did you learn the secret to flipping houses?
No, their secret was a $40,000 sales pitch.
You know, John and I flipped 2 houses this year.
Really? Wish we did that. Did you fall for one of those overpriced programs?
No way. We use Cliff Gager's online training at realestateexpertonline.com.
Realestateexpertonline.com? Sounds expensive. Those seminar people were so pushy. Fred almost blew our entire life savings.
No, the price was so low we were skeptical at first, but it's exactly what we needed.
What's that website again?
RealestateExpertOnline.com. Cliff strategies are the real deal.
RealestateExpertOnline.com. Oh, here it is. Okay, I signed up for his webinar. I'm super excited.
I have a venti mocha for Crystal.
Oh, that's me. Thanks, Linda. RealestateExpertOnline.com will finally make our dreams come true.
Yep, RealestateExpertOnline.com worked for us.
Ever dream about flipping houses like on TV? Want more money in your bank account to do the things you want to do? If so, get ready to begin your personal financial revolution with Cliff Gager's house flipping training. Cliff's 25 years of experience will help you finally understand how to get great deals and create profits quickly while achieving your dream of financial freedom. This training gets straight to the good stuff so you can start immediately. Cliff was the mentor's mentor for many of the TV and seminar so-called gurus. He was the man behind the curtain, but now you can eliminate those overpriced gurus and get Cliff's best knowledge direct. If you really want to make money flipping houses, you need RealestateExpertOnline.com. Your personal financial revolution starts now. Go to RealestateExpertOnline.com. That's RealestateExpertOnline.com. RealestateExpertOnline.com.
Hey Fred, Linda told me you went to one of those real estate seminars. Yeah, what a downer. It was nothing but a 3-day sales pitch to sell more overpriced training. Plus the 3-day training they did was so vague. It was a waste of time. Linda and I almost did that too, but we got lucky and found Cliff Gager first. Did you and Crystal check out Cliff's RealestateExpertOnline.com website? Yeah, we did. Cliff really put together a complete program. RealestateExpertOnline.com gave us all the missing pieces we've been searching for. Yeah, the gurus only want to sell you expensive coaching programs. Crazy. I know, right? We almost handed over $40,000 to those so-called real estate gurus. Not only did RealestateExpertOnline.com save Linda and I $40,000, it also helped us start flipping houses and making profits quickly.
Hi, I'm Cliff Gager, and you can start your own personal financial revolution today with RealestateExpertOnline.com. That's RealestateExpertOnline.com.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Expert Online Radio Show with Jake and Cliff. Your personal financial revolution for financial independence continues.
Well, all right. I'm Jake and he's Cliff.
It's the last
We're
segment.
here in Bakersfield. We're at the last segment. I'm going to introduce our studio audience. Say hi, studio audience. Hi.
They're all falling asleep.
Boy,
6 degrees outside. So guess what we're going to do now?
We're going to talk about Roman law.
No, we're getting ready to get on a bus and
yes,
go
that's
look
right.
at houses.
That's right. That's going to be exciting.
It's 84? Oh, 94 degrees outside. So that's great. It's going to be like
nothing.
It's going to be like a blizzard out there.
It's going to be nothing.
It's going to be cold.
It's going to be
So yeah, we got an air-conditioned bus. Yay! So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go look at houses.
And you will too if you come to one of our events.
You should be here anyways.
You should be here anyway.
So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get on a bus. We're gonna go look at potential properties that could be bought, fixed, and sold. And there's multiple different exit strategies that you could use. You could hold them and keep them as rental properties and make money every month and build equity over time. You could flip it and you buy it and you fix it and you sell it to someone that's going to live in it. Or you can buy it as an investor and sell it to other investors. And everybody doesn't understand the truth about wholesaling. And the truth about wholesaling is I got to it before you did. And therefore, I get a little bit of money and for bringing you the deal. A lot of people think wholesaling this is where I make my lottery ticket winnings now. And it's not. It's just you're there before somebody else got there, and you're making it available to others. And that's a service that you can provide by working with other investors. You can even use their own money to do this wholesaling stuff, which we talk about tomorrow. But today we're going to go look at these houses, and we're going to look at they all smell really good, right? I'm talking to the realtor now. They're all really nice smelling, perfect. Like floral, jasmine, Move-in ready. No, they're not.
Shovel ready, more like.
Shovel ready project.
Demolition ready, more like.
But one of the things that I like the most is the smellier they are. That smell is money to me. I like the smell of.
You're the one that goes into a house that smells ungodly.
Yeah.
And you gather everybody around, and everybody's holding their nose.
Yeah.
And people are about to pass out, and you're the one who says, "You smell that smell?"
Yeah.
And everybody goes, "Oh, it's terrible."
Yeah.
That's the smell of money.
It is. Because, in fact, here in Bakersfield, we went to a house one time, and there was actually chickens living in the house. I have it on video.
Classic.
It's on the YouTube channel. So when you're going to look at these houses, there's a difference of the way I look at the house and the way a real estate agent would look at a house, or a beginning investor. And some seasoned investors look at things a lot different than I do. And I look at the value of the property and it getting to closing, because again, that's the most important thing. So if you were here, you would get to have the experience of going out on the bus, looking at these properties, and we can actually put offers on these properties because they are real estate MLS deals that are available, right. and they're deals. And if you learn how to make the offer the way that I teach, and you present the offer this way, you're going to get more deals than you are probably with the old conventional ways that everybody else is doing, which is the old industrial mindset of, listen to everybody that's a professional, they tell you what to do, and you just sign on the dotted line. Those days are over.
And being intimidated by authority figures that tell you that you can't do something.
Right. And I dropped out of school because I do not comply.
Right.
I do not like to listen to authority. It has been troublesome in my past. But the fact remains is when you use that objection to the way things normally are in a good way, and you figure out how to use it to your advantage in business, it becomes extremely profitable to you, especially when you figure out that that's really the true definition of entrepreneur.
If you can see your way past these things, these blockages that are in your way, there's this whole wide world that is going to open up to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree.
But it can be very difficult, just like going into the law library and realizing after 20 minutes I couldn't do a case.
Right.
Just like you doing things and realizing that you couldn't do what you needed to do.
It took time. It took years.
You need guidance. You need a little bit of guidance. You need some coaching.
And that's why I coach people along the way, step by step, through the deals, not just in one weekend where I tell you how to do everything. I can tell you how to do everything this weekend, which I do, but it's the coaching that brings the thing into reality.
Right, because you may have a situation where you can teach these things, but somebody will come back and say thus and so happened. Something happened that has a wrinkle in it.
It stopped the transaction.
It has a little wrinkle in it.
And I look at it and I'm like, just do this, that, or the other thing.
Right, exactly.
And then it moves forward, Right. Or you're like
gung-ho.
And it's
just that easy. It's just that easy.
Or you're gung-ho to do it, and I look at it and say, oh, wait a minute, that's a trap.
Right.
Run away. So
right. Where otherwise the situation would blow up in your face.
It would.
You would become demoralized. You would stop.
Yep.
And you would go back and you would say, well, maybe other people can do that, but maybe it's not for me.
So
this is the great trap that we're trying to keep people from falling into.
Right. So we've got 30 seconds left. So
oh my goodness.
What you want to know is go to realestateexpertonline.com. That's realestateexpertonline.com. Click on events, and you'll see after this weekend we'll be doing another event, probably in the Los Angeles area.
We'll be doing one in Los Angeles, and
one in Irvine.
Very next couple of days.
And if you're in the area, that's where you need to be. So thanks for listening. Come back next week. Watch us on YouTube if you want, and realestateexpertonline.com. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
You've been listening to the Real Estate Expert Online Radio Show with Jake and Cliff. The real estate investing revolution has only just begun. Want more information on your own personal revolution? Go to realestateexpertonline.com or call 1-800-396-1501. The owners of the show, this station, or any of its affiliates want you to know that real estate investing is risky. You could lose your entire investment. Topics and opinions expressed in the show are for informational and entertainment purposes, not professional advice or even factual reporting. The owners disclaim any responsibility to supplement, correct, or modify the content of any broadcast. Nothing in this content shall be construed to create an agreement with this disclaimer, encourage evasion or disobedience to any law, or constitute a submission to jurisdiction in any state or country. Persons or entities referred to are entirely fictional. No reference to an actual person or entity is intended, but is entirely coincidental.
Ever dream about flipping houses like on TV? Want more money in your bank account to do the things you want to do? If so, get ready to begin your personal financial revolution with Cliff Gager's house flipping training. Cliff's 25 years of experience will help you finally understand how to get great deals and create profits quickly while achieving your dream of financial freedom. This training gets straight to the good stuff so you can start immediately. Cliff was the mentor's mentor for many of the TV and seminar so-called gurus. He was the man behind the curtain, but now you can eliminate those overpriced gurus and get Cliff's best knowledge direct. If you really want to make money flipping houses, you need realestateexpertonline.com. Your personal financial revolution starts now. Go to realestateexpertonline.com. That's realestateexpertonline.com. realestateexpertonline.com.
Your NBC Sports Radio update starts now.
Wide open at the open.